Pak Wid, mohon maaf Pak. Oh, ya. Halo Prof.
Yuk.
Mohon maaf, ini monggo bisa dimulai saja Prof.
Oke, langsung ya.
Iya.
Oke, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, so for our presenter in this session in ICENIS 2021 year was in this parallel session with topic environmental. In this session, was presented 9 presenter. So in topic in environmental and also in energy, in efficiency energy, and also in renewable energy. The first session I call in for presentation is Adria Muhammad Zud, Fakta Muhammad, and so Widayat, and as presenter is Widayat and itself or chef. So I was presented about the estimation of waste heat recovery in a frame cook stove by using thermoelectric generator. So I was start for presentation in this topic. The first I was share screen the PPT. Okay, I started for presentation. This is a thesis research for Adria Muhammad Zud. This is alumni for Magister Energy Diponegoro University. So he also in Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources Republik Indonesia and domisili in Jakarta. So Widayat and Muhammad Fakta is a promoter for Adria Muhammad Zuhud. So the first introduction, stove is a main equipment for cooking, like cooking water, for cooking frying, and also in traditional in people in Indonesia use a stove for cooking in rice and etc. So gas stove and electric stove is usually used by people living in cities. Yeah, well, those who has limited access for electrical and gas have to use a stove which can be fueled by biomass, kerosene, and coal. So, and for fuels like biomass, like bio pellet or wood pellet. Most of citizens in the world still use wood instead of kerosene and coal briquette. In this research, use bio pellet as a fuel. So about thermal energy efficiency of foods from the combustion on stove can be increased by recovery, energy recovery, or also called energy harvesting, to another form of energy that is more useful, like electricity generation. So with heat recovery method that can be most likely be utilized is changing from electrical energy using a thermoelectric generator technology like TEG, thermoelectric generator. The thermoelectric generator likes in this figure. So what about a biopellet? This is a parameter that's effective for quality of biopellet, like the mechanical endurance factor and also moisture content factor. So, good quality of wood pellet has a smoother surface with minimum cracks. Uh, in this research, the first biopellet was analyzed about calorie value, and uh, the calorie value of biopellet is like 4,298 calorie per gram. So, the objective on the research is the first calculated of temperature inside of stove for the temperature can be analyzed about energy recovery, energy utilization for temperature in a cell. So the objective second, why why and how the electricity generation with TEG. So by forwarding heat waste to thermoelectric module so that it can be converted to electricity gener energy. This is a methodology in our research. The first is this is a stove for this analysis. This is mine equipment. So performance this equipment can be analyzed temperature and also in high energy recovery. This is the first identification of his waste position of biomass stove and thermal energy efficiency in usage. So the efficiency test of operating of the biomass stove is already established with TEG. So efficiency data is of that and could be compared with the previous experiment data. So this is a position TEG install. This is position one in top, so in middle and also in a bottom of stove. This is a dimension of stove that are used in this research. For temperature detected, yes, we are use S1 ada ENV STC device type and USB for 71X model X channel. So data logger software is for records the temperature in every experiment. This is illustration about our experiment. This is a biopellet. So this is the first experiment for cooking of water with biopellet. So and this is main experiment. This is a module about TEG, and this is a recording for temperature. So this is the first biopellets wax weight using a balance. In our experiment using water cooking for until boiling point with using water food. This is a position degi in top, middle, and also in our bottom. This is the first recording with ampere meter and also a voltmeter. How much ampere meter can be generated by using TEG? So in the first experiment was analysis temperature for cell in stove. For information temperature with analysis energy is energy out external, and also for internal energy we are using net value for biopellet can be calculated with the first equation. So the first and second equation will be calculated of thermal energy like presented in this equation. So if experiment using TEG and that's installed in stove, we analyze about ampere and also voltage. And for information, ampere and voltage calculated energy can be generated with TEG with this equation. Yeah. So For this information, energy can be calculated electricity efficiency with this equation. This is energy out thermal plus energy of electricity divided by energy inlet cross 100%. This is equipment that equipment of stop for experiment that install with TEG and also ampermeter and voltmeter. The first was analysis for temperature in a cell stove. This is for bottom temperature. This is for middle point or 2 point. This is 3 point. So for the experiment, a different temperature for this position. Where is different? This is near with this flame forms stove. So energy forms biovalet combustion can be transferred to shell with convection and also conduction, and that's the cell can be heat and generated temperature like presented this is. This is in this experiment we use biovallets as fuel in 215 gram and also 350 gram and also 400 grams. So for analyze if we use water for boilings, this is information temperature in water boiling, and also this is information surface stove, and also this is cold shade for different of temperature in surface stove and also in cold side can be generated electricity that's presented in the next slide. This is a different temperature. Then this is a different temperature in thermoelectric generated. For this data can be range to this temperature abscess, and also for this data can be lent to power. This is power can be generated by TEG thermal electricity generator. So this is analysis in every time in 1 until 64 minutes. This is a time for boiling water until boiling point. This is that's can be calculated how much electricity can be generated from the system. So for this experiment, if use once TEG until 3, so if analyze in area of stove can be used until 12 TEG can be converted like this slide. So for this ini can be simulation with software until electricity can be generated like presented in this figure. So for the experiment can be analyzed with table and Excel software can be. This is without TEG. This is energy input. So this is energy output from stove. This is energy output. This is not recovery. This is also can be used in burning. So how much efficiency can be calculated like this? So with 2 TEG can be calculated like presented in this table. This is same input energy. Okay. This is energy that's used And this is energy can be recovery from this system. Then also this is efficiency calculated from the system. We can so this is increase for efficiency energy like this efficiency without the EG compared with used EG, and also compare with DC converter like this. This is increase for 0.30%. This is 40%. So for the experiment can be concluded. The first biomass stove thermal energy efficiency measure will boiling water method test 30.922%. So if use 12 unit of TEG type like this can be electric generated x 198.50 joule. So the usage of energy contribute of the stove thermal energy increase until very small. Yeah, this is a very small. So to follow the energy utilization time, voltage need to be stabilized on working voltage of the lithium battery with using buck booster converter type which utilize in energy for 53 minutes average power of 0.27 watts. The energy utilization contribute to stove utilization energy efficient increase also very more, but this is more dense without converter of electricity. This is our presentation. If any question, please raise in, and also you can write in chat column. Thank you very much. Hello everybody. If any question, you can write in column, and also you can be raised in if any question on this research, on this presented. Any question? If not yet a question, we continue for second presenter. I call Rafika Amalia, Indar Wirawan, Bayu Prastia, M. Faik Kasmadin, or M. Rizaldi Zaman. I don't know. Okay. Okay, Andono Tio Pak Agung Bambuti.
I'm the third presenter, Prof.
Oh, Tio Agung Bambuti.
Halo, Mr. Widayat.
Yeah.
Miss Rafika Amalia is sent video to me. I will play the video.
Okay, please play your video.
Okay, sir. Muncul belum, Mas? Baik. Dengeran nggak, Mas? Udah play.
I'm checking Rafika Amalia, title is Biowet Potential in Energy. increasing demand for energy and the diffusion of fossil fuel make energy conservation towards new and renewable energy a vital project for the Indonesian economy. The utilization of requests as alternative energy can be a solution to this problem. In recent years, there have been many studies to increase heat content and reduce emission. Red is defined as a solid fuel made from various basic materials. Red can be classified into two, namely biobriquettes and full briquettes. Biobriquettes is defined as a fuel that is solid and comes from the remains of organic matter that has undergone a compression process with certain compressive power. The role of energy is very important to improve economic activities and national security. So that energy management, which includes the supply and utilization, must be implemented in a fair, sustainable, optimal, and integrated manner. In an effort to utilize biobriquettes as an alternative energy, currently there are many kinds of raw materials that can be used as biobriquettes, which cause the quality of this raw material to vary. There are several factors that can affect the combustion value, such as combustion characteristic, ease of handling, and calorific value. The calorific value is the most critical factor that must be considered when selecting raw material inputs. Stable raw material and calorie value. Biobriquette with low water content will produce high calorific value because it is produced from a type of fiber that has low water content. In this case, the higher the moisture content of the briquettes, the low calorific value. This is because the heat generated is used to evaporate the water in the fiber before generating heat that can be used as combustion heat. In other words, the water content is directly related to the calorific value. The calorific value determines the quality of the briquettes. The higher the calorific value, the better the quality of the briquettes produced. Low water content as content and volatile substance can increase the calorific value. The high carbon content can increase the calorific value. The calorific value test aims to determine the calorific value of combustion produced by briquettes. Temperature density is an important factor that can affect combustion properties, especially calorific value when operating at relatively high temperatures. Stable review of humus briquettes from various types was an application of technology. Number one, with author is Yusrida. Using raw material was coconut shell and unit shell. The process carried out are drying of raw materials, carbonization, soaking, and filtering, mixing with adhesive, pressing, and drying. The briquettes formed were aerated for 24 hours, then dried in an oven at 100 degrees Celsius for 1 hour. The lowest water content was produced at a weight of 125 grams of alcohol at a carbonization temperature of 300 degrees Celsius of 2.014%, while the lowest ash content was produced at a weight of 75 grams of alcohol at carbonization temperature of 20 degrees Celsius of 7.39%. Number two, with author is Runerova. Using raw material is spent coffee ground. Another study on the use spent coffee ground as an external additive by Lunarova conclude that the addition of SGG could increase the heating ability of the resulting purified sample, but decrease its mechanical quality. The negative result of mechanical quality degradation can be handled by making a mixture of SGG raw materials with sawdust or firewood, serving with different SGG mass ratio. Number 3, with author is Rifda using corn crops in the manufacture of biobriquettes from corn crops. The use of adhesive from fox glue produce the optimum heating value according to the standard calorific value of full briquettes, which is more than 6,000 calorie per gram. According to Rifda, the briquettes with a composition of 20 grams of corn flour and 25 grams of fox glue produce a calorific value of 6 to 34 calories.
Hello, Mas. Where stop in this setup? What happened? Can you play again or continue? Hello, Kedareka? You're not. I can hear. I cannot hear in the sound.
Tadi videonya mana Pak hilang? Ini gimana? Oh ya. Halo Prof.
Mas tidak, Mas.
J?
I cannot hear on sound.
Oh, because my son is mute. Okay. Prof, time is up. Maybe we can continue with the next presenter.
Okay. For the third presentation, I call in this schedule overview optimization of utilization of foam in Indonesia for sustainable energy. The author is John Marjuni Kadang, Parlu Hutan Siahaan, Pradipta Ahluriza, Daniel Basaribu, and Muhammad Sultan Novera Riga. So this is a play of video presented in this moment.
Yes, sir. Can I share screen?
Video itu Mas. Itu siapa tuh?
Okay. This is for John Marjuni Kadang et al. Please present your paper.
Okay, Prof. Okay. It's me. I'm going to start the presentation. So the paper is about overview of optimizing the utilization of POMA in Indonesia for sustainable energy. Okay. Indonesia is the largest palm oil producing country in the world. According to the data from a statistic agency, the total production of crude palm oil in 2019 was 48.4 tons. And then in the palm oil processing industry, the activity carried out is the extraction of crude palm oil from fresh fruit branch. Thus, the main products produced are crude palm oil and palm kernel oil. Judging from the general material balance of the palm oil processing process, the main product will be 24% for CPO and 2.5% for PKO. The rest are byproducts, namely shells, fiber, empty leaves, and palm oil waste. So here is a graph about the potential utilization of palm waste. So first there is plantation and then TBS. What is TBS? TBS is tandan buah segar or fresh fruit branch. Okay, and then it was processed in the PKS or palm oil mill. From the palm oil mill, we make some product. There are pome as a wastewater, as you can see here. This is wastewater, and then cell and fiber, and then CPO and PKO. So CPO is like this, and PKO is look like this. Next. So basically, pome is wastewater. If pome being discarded unprocessed, it will have a negative impact on the environment, especially on water and air quality due to high chemical oxygen demand, which is above 500,000 ppm in the production of 1 ton of FFB. In addition, another factor is the release of methane gas, which is greenhouse gas emission. As you can see here, here is the kernel, and here is where the oil was made. Flash and kernel. The most expensive one is the kernel one. And pome is a byproduct, is the wastewater from the process of making palm oil. Okay, additional process are needed to capture the methane gas so that it can be reused and does not pollute the air. Biogas is one of the technologies commonly used to treat pome and convert it into electrical energy. This biogas conversion uses a digester, which is placed for the formation of methane gas from the metabolism of microorganisms in pome raw material. This metabolic process takes place anaerobically with little air. So the digester must be made airtight. The steps taken in the discussion of the study are: first, we conduct a literature study through various sources regarding the management of palm oil waste in Indonesia and the technology to convert it. Second, conduct a descriptive analysis of the opportunities for using palm oil in Indonesia for sustainable energy development. Third is to produce conclusion and suggestion on the effectiveness of palm handling in Indonesia to support sustainable energy. This study aims to understand the situation or phenomenon on the subject of study, namely the handling of palm oil waste and the utilization and development of technology for managing palm oil waste. So here are the results. Here is a palm characteristic. As you can see, in the production process, CPO from palm oil will produce palm as the main byproduct, with cells, fiber, and anti-fruit branches. Production of CPO with 1 ton of fresh fruit bunch as raw material will produce 0.6 ton of liquid waste containing pome. So pome is a very big problem because it's act as like a wastewater, and it's dangerous to environment if not processed correctly. Here are some process to digest the pome. There is anaerobic and aerobic. In anaerobic, it is without the use of oxygen, and the the positive side is low energy on consumption. Okay, while aerobic use oxygen and it use high energy consumption. Okay, anaerobic itu energi from biogas production, and then waste dari anaerobic itu needs to be processed further. While aerobic, the waste can be disposed directly. And then here is the process of polymer into electrical energy. There are 4 processes for the decomposition of polymer raw material, with the final product in the form of methane and CO2 gas, which are as follows. The first process is hydrolysis, which is the process of breaking down raw material into fatty acid, amino acid, and sugar. The second process is acidification, which produces short-chain organic acid and alcohol. The third process is acetogenesis, which will produce acetic acid, carbon dioxide, and hydrogen. The fourth process is metagenesis, which will produce methane, carbon dioxide, and sulfur gas. The gas produced will enter the gas purification process before entering the biogas engine and being converted into electricity. Here we can see the process. When viewed from the overall process, the conversion of electrical energy from biogas system begins with pre-treatment of raw materials. Conventionally, this pre-treatment process occurs in an open pond, and the raw material are adjusted for pH and temperature before entering the digester. The pH setting is around 6.5 to 7.5, and the temperature is around 350 degrees Celsius to suit the living environment of the microorganism in the digester. After the pre-treatment process, the raw material enters the digester for the conversion process into gas as described previously. Here are some process. This is anaerobic. Some technology we found is using continuously stirred tank reactor and enclosed pool. As you can see at GSTR, the reactor is made from cylindrical form of concrete or metal. This system can operate at mesophilic at 25 to 400 degrees Celsius or thermophilic at 50 to 600 degrees Celsius, and with mechanical, hydraulic, or gas injection steering system, while enclosed pool in principle to treat waste with a solid content of less than 3% and operating in the mesophilic temperature range. The ideal condition is micronutrients such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, calcium, and magnesium for food for bacteria, and then macronutrients such as Fa, nickel, zinc, mangan, and cobalt to keep bacteria healthy. Vitamins if needed on small scale to meet specific catalytic needs in biosynthesis. And then enzymes to speed up cellular reaction. And then temperature is around 350 degrees Celsius to 550 degrees Celsius. And the pH is said to be around 7. And then here is some component of biogas power plant. We got biodigester system, and then hydrogen sulfate scrubber, and then biogas dehumidifier, gas engine, flare, and control system. Benefit and potential of palm oil. So based on the capacity of palm oil mills, the range of FFP processing capacities varies from 30, 45, and 60 tons per hour. This in the day amount of palm oil produced can reach 720 tons. However, the reality is currently not every palm oil processing unit has a biogas system. In fact, every unit must produce palm oil as byproduct of processed palm oil. Even if it already has a biogas system, it turns out that not all the biogas is used as renewable energy source. Generally, some of the biogas is used to help supply the factory electricity, and the excess will be burned by using flaring. The percentage of excess biogas varies from 40 to 55%. The large amount of biogas flaring indicates that the plant actually has successful. This makes sense because it has used cells and fiber as boiler fuel and the main source of electricity generation. Optimization of biogas utilization needs to be done so that excess biogas is not waste. The first alternative that can be done is to install supporting installation so that biogas can convert into electrical energy and distributed to residential area. Here are some paper that we found. Here are some. The highlight is POME, which has a minimum COD content, will produce lower biogas compared to COD with a maximum content value, while the other paper said the increasing demand for energy and depletion of oil reserve, as well as problem of emission from fossil fuel, put pressure on every country to immediately produce and use renewable energy. So Indonesia is a big potential to make bioenergy powerhouse. And then here are the results. Based on a description of the discussion, the following analysis produced. First is technology procurement. Procurement of technology in the POMA processing system has become a breakthrough for processing palm oil waste into electricity. Then technology development, there is an optimization of technology development to make POMA management more effective and generate electricity from palm waste conversion. Bureaucratic and organizational reform, good and comprehensive governance, government, stakeholder, organizational structure, and community social commission is demonstrated by the cooperation of various parties in the management of POMA, which has been implemented in various regions in Indonesia. Then last is new policy. The new policy and the breakthrough of POMA management is the existence of a policy of optimizing the use of PLTBG and POMA management so that in addition to managing palm oil waste, it can also produce electricity as renewable energy. Conclusion. By optimizing the use of biogas from palm oil waste, the Indonesian palm oil industry can increase its contribution in increasing the share of bioenergy in the renewable energy mix target of 2030, which is 23%. In addition to the two alternatives mentioned above, further studies are needed. Yes.
The time is finished for Mr. Kadang.
Oh yes, sorry.
First, I have one question.
Yes.
I didn't have any question. Can be right here. Raishan. For me, I have one question. For Mr. Kadang. What difference biogas production from waste for farming or biogas generation for farming? What difference?
Okay, so the difference between from cow, yes, Prof, from manure is the methane content and the carbon dioxide content, Prof. From what I read, POME is containing more carbon dioxide gases than the gas made from manure, from cow dung from the farm. So POME need more processing to get rid of the CO2 from the gas, Prof. That's from what I read, Prof. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. Is it answered?
This is using sled active, yeah? Active sled manure of coal.
Yes,
for biogas generation, in foam treatment, use active slate or manure.
Yes, Prof. So in Menenco is used in farm, while the Poma is from uh, uh, palm oil. Yes, Prof.
Okay.
Is wastewater.
Any question for the other audience or presented? The other presented? Any question? If not question, we will follow to what the presented. This is Professor Swirman. I call for presented for presenter. Ya, Suhirman, Faireza Rafli Afriansa, and Rizky Saadatun Nikmah, Evan Edward Susanto, Adianto, will be presented the coffee bean drying using fertilization photovoltaic solar drying method. This is a play of video presented info presented. Play video presented with PPT.
I'm sorry, the presenter doesn't give me some PPT or video.
Okay, play your video.
The presenter do not give me some video or PPT.
Okay, continue to 5 presenter. I go for 5 presenter. With title.
Maybe we can
Overview of biogas development as alternative energy in Indonesia. This is presented by Adrian Maika Aryawan, Anugrah Pratama, Afin, Faizur Al-Muhajir, Iwan Gunawan, Kun Wibowo, and Teguh Purnomo.
Okay.
Who is presented?
I'm going to present it to Prof.
Oh, Mr. Andono again.
Yes, let me share screen, Prof.
The time and screen for you, Mr. Andono.
Thank you very much, Prof. Okay, so it's not full screen yet. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the kesempatan. Today I'm going to present about paper with name overview of biogas development as alternative energy in Indonesia. So why do we need to make this paper? Because first, Indonesia's potential as bioenergy barn. So as you can see in the picture, Indonesia has the optimum temperature to make bioenergy barn, like such as microalgae or farm, because the temperature is optimum. And then Indonesia fragile energy security. As you can see, Indonesia is very addicted to import gas from other country. So the development of biogas is a big solution to our fragile energy security. And then concern for emission. As we read, emission from biogas and emission from oil fossil based fuel is much less. So it's give better emission. And then the possibility to make new jobs to meet workforce need. As you can see, as COVID hit, many of our people are being on work. So we need to make a new job for majority of the people. Basically, biogas is a gas produced from an anaerobic digester process. It's an airtight chamber process, so no oxygen can enter, or an anaerobic fermentation process that produces methane gas. The primary raw materials commonly used in Indonesia are animal manure or kohe from cattle, goat, horse, and pig farm, and can also come from human waste or coma. So biogas as a public transport fuel, as you can see, we have applied in bus use bahan bakar gas. So methane, the content of biogas is the essential element that becomes a component in combustion. The biogas produced by the reactor cannot be used directly as fuel of our gasoline engine, but must be purified from impurity gas. One of the polluting gas that must be reduced is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide percentage in biogas is approximately 27.44%. This is a big no because CO2 is not flammable and not good for uh, engine environment. And then there are methods that can be used to separate carbon dioxide in biogas. There is cryogenic pressure swing absorption or PSA, and then absorption using iron powder chunks, and then membrane, dissolving and diffusion, and then chemical absorption. Here is the most used method to separate carbon dioxide so far. The least used is the membrane technology. The separation method using a membrane is challenging to do. Some example of method can be used to purify biogas before being applied as fuel in a combustion engine, including activated charcoal and silica gel as adsorbent. And then next is cryogenic. The cryogenic method requires very high pressure where the carbon dioxide produced is in the form of solution while the absorption capacity is too small. And then the most used method to separate carbon dioxide is by using chemical absorption process using a solvent, usually MDA, with reactant that can react with dissolved gas a component, increasing the reaction rate of the solvent in absorbing carbon dioxide. So here are some power plant fuel to make some power. So here the one is the most basic one, power conversion into biogas for power generation. So first is the power come into biodigester, and then it's go to the sulfur scrubber to get rid of the sulfur, and then the sulfur got flare because it's uh, dangerous to the engine. It make corrosion, and then we need to dehumidify the gas. So to minimize the content of water in the gas, and then it can be put into the gas engine. And then there are food waste and municipal solid waste for power generation. So basically, this is the waste, and then the gas we collected. Okay, and then there are two processes here. One is using solar field, and then one is using hot tank. The both produce biogas. They use this to minimize the energy use. Okay, and then there is this. This is the unique one. This is the CHP or ORC power plant for the utilization of organic waste and waste from agriculture. So what is this? This is the organic Rankine cycle, and then this is the CIP. CIP is the name of the plant that we use. So basically, there is uh, the di sini anaerobic digester. We collect the gas, and then the gas get into the air cooler, and then it gets to the biogas engine to make biogas, and then we collect the exhaust gas, and then use it to heat recovery. The excess heat from the gas was used to heat the liquid form, and then it flow to the ORC power system. The gas from the burning of biogas was used to turn the turbine and make energy. So this is a Rankine, so this is a cycle. And then there is utilization of minor gas and MSW for power generation. We can combine all of them into one process to make a big efficient POME processing plant. And then here are the technology and infrastructure. So the biogas technology is already here from the 1970s. So in the 1970s, Indonesia government has experimented with biogas digester using oil drums in Denpasar, Bali. But the material made of iron caused corrosion, resulting in the biogas digester age not lasting long. So this is a problem, and then we fixed it in 1981. The Ministry of Agriculture started constructing fish dome biogas digester in several provinces, and around 100 to 200 biogas digester were built under a grant scheme. But there is a problem too. High cost of installing biogas digester and the cheaper price of kerosene due to subsidies. So because the price of kerosene is too low, the biogas solution is not economically viable. So it was cancelled again on the 2007. In 2007, the Ministry of Agriculture and several local government in Indonesia became the main actor in implementing and disseminating biogas digester in Indonesia through the biogas origin from livestock with community. The community is called Batama, and then program Rural Bioenergy Program or BEP. There are three types of biogas digester. There are fixed dome, plastic bag, and glass fiber fixed dome. So from the program we found that the program created 996 biogas unit for 1,693 families in 121 areas and 26 provinces. So this is a big success. So this is the turn point where the biogas is improving. And then last is 2009. The Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, in collaboration with the government of the Netherlands and Norway, launched the Domestic Biogas Program, or BIRU, to provide biogas reactor in 9 provinces in Indonesia. And the product is 50 digester was built at the end of 2009. Sorry. And then there are economics. According to research results, in 2011, biogas as alternative fuel can significantly reduce the share of household energy consumption cost by 52.2%, where the decrease is equivalent to a value of 130,000 rupiah per month in Haur Gombong village. And then economic and financial factors are the leading cause of delay. So it's actually not the technology that hold the biogas development, but it's the economic and financial factor is the biggest role to delay the biogas development. There are 3 points. There are dependence on funding, government subsidies and funding. So basically, the development of the biogas is very dependent to the funding government. There are no too little private funding. So the subsidy also make the market very hard to enter because of the subsidy. People prefer to use the fossil-based gas. And then there is the absence of funds from the state budget that is focused on biogas program. So this means biogas program is underfunded, and there are little to no funding for biogas development. And then the last thing is lack of financial capacity to invest in digester. Next. In practice, Indonesia has 3 significant commitments to explore the abundant potential of renewable energy. The first commitment is contained in the Paris Agreement to keep the global temperature increase not more than 2 degrees Celsius and strive to be 1.5 degrees Celsius. The mandate law of number 16 of 2016 concerning ratification of the Paris Agreement to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change following the NDC in 2030 to 29% of PAU and 41% from PAU international assistance to able to reduce GHG emission by 314 to 398 million tons of carbon dioxide in 2030 and government regulation number 79 of 2014 and then the regulation number 22 of 2017. The government,
Mr. Andono, the time
yes.
is finished. The time for presenter is finished.
Oh yes.
For this is a time for discussion. Okay, for the other presented, any question for audience? Any question for to Mr. Andono Kusuma? Okay, if not for the audience, I have a question for Mr. Andono.
Yes, Prof.
How specification of biogas that is used for transportation fuel?
Composition, Prof.
Specification of biogas that used for transportation fuel.
Oh, the specification. Okay.
You speak about transportation fuel in the previous presented. So, how specification of biogas that's used in transportation fuel for converted gas fuel or solar fuel? Yeah.
Gas fuel and solar fuel, yes, sir.
Yeah. Biogas can be used substitution gas fuel or solar fuel.
Okay, I stop share first, please. Stop share sebelah. So the specification for biogas used for transportation is the methane content is more than 54%, Prof.
54%.
Yes.
So in biogas generation, maybe methane content lower than 50%, 15%, 15%.
I'm sorry, more than 97%, Prof.
More than
More than 97%, and the CO2 is less than 1%, Prof.
okay. So what addition process for this specification in biogas generation?
So we need to make a CO2 removal, Prof. To get rid of the CO2 and to concentrate the methane content, Prof. Maybe
So
yes.
in biogas generation maybe has sulfur content.
Oh yes, I'm sorry for.
Oh.
Also, we need to get rid of the sulfur using desulfurizer. We can use adsorption using catalyst. Yes, Prof. I forgot the sulfurizer.
Okay, in sulfur removal, more efficient chemical method physical method in sulfur removal.
The method, yes, sir. If I don't wrong, it's using zinc oxide.
Okay, do you know? Okay, thank you, Mr. Andono.
Yes, thank you very
Any
much.
question on the other presenter? If not, I continue to follow presenter. I
Thank you.
call to Gusti Prastio Randy Anggara, Junius Christian Harifa, Arjibat Negel, Ligan Budi Pratomo, and Agus Ekostiono. This is they are presented about Pact Forward, Breaking Indonesian Renewable Energy Target Gap Through Wood Pellet Co-Firings. Maybe this is presented Mr. Andono again.
Excuse me, sir.
Playing to video.
Playing video, sir.
Okay.
I will play the video first.
Okay.
Share screen.
So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the time for me to present the next segment. My name is Nancy and on behalf of Mr. Prastio and teams, I will review the study about Pact Forward, Bridging Indonesia's renewable energy target through wood pellet co-firing. Let me share the screen. Okay, so for the introduction, Indonesia's electricity consumption increases accordingly. The history of electricity consumption during the last 11 years from 2010 to 2011 and projection until 2026 are shown. The projection reveals that the electricity need will increase up to 483 watt hours in the year of 2026. The average growth is 8.3% yearly. The highest consumption is shown by household sector, which consumes 39% of the total consumption and followed by industrial and commercial sectors respectively. The yearly electricity consumption per capita in Indonesia also increased significantly until 2026. In time frame between 2017 to 2026, the consumption will grow up from 896 to 1,082 watts to kilowatts per year per capita. This fact reveals that Indonesia electricity needs will grow significantly in the next 10 years. The projection of electricity production based on energy sources also show the increasing trends. The production process mostly use coal and gas as the main fuels. Coal power plant dominates new power plants built and planned. As stated in the fast track program or actively phase the first and second with target 35,000 megawatt power plant. The PLN or National Electricity Body elements display business plan for 2018 to 2027 also shown that coal-fired power plants are still the main fuel for electricity production. The amount of power capacity planned to build until 2027 reaches 56 gigawatts, which takes 48% is coal-fired power plants and 26% is gas-fired power plants. So the PLN Persero has an ambition to continue developing the green energy resources to achieve to 23% new renewable energy mix in 2025. One of their solutions is to substitute coal with biomass. Based on the company's plan to develop new renewable energy, there are at least 3 strategies to increase the capacity of the green power plants. The first strategy is to implement the coal-firing program in a coal-fired power plants, or LTU, by substituting 10% of coal with biomass. The second strategy is to convert 5,200 diesel-powered power plants, or PLTs, in 2,130 locations with a capacity of up to 2 gigawatts to be new renewable energy power plants. The third strategy is to utilize several existing assets, such as dams, to provide mini hydropower plants. And in this manner, PLN will cooperate with the public works and public housing industry. So in this research aim is first looking for the potential implementation of co-firing, and then looking for the potential wood pellet, then trying to evaluate for the bridging target depth, and this is literature review, doing the comparison, initialization in Indonesia, and how the potential will start in Indonesia. For the power plant comparison, pure wood pellet biomass versus coal wood pellet co-firing, based on the type of location, fuel supply, capacity, and efficiency, there are these comparisons. The pure wood pellet biomass is widely used in East Asia, with China as the highest capacity, meanwhile the coal wood pellet biomass co-firing is widely used in Europe. For the fuel supply, biomass fuel are highly available, but cost of biomass power generation in Asia are about 40 to 49%. And the capacity is 1 to 50 megawatts. That was are around 10 to 30 megawatts. The efficiency is generally lower than 30% than the coal pellet biomass co-firing. This is for the initial coal wood pellet co-firing power plant in Indonesia. This data is available on December 2020. There are 3 PLTUs. For the potential stock for wood pellet in Indonesia, based on the water content and calorific value, there are first this kimbang wood, acacia wood, harap wood, and proper wood with tapioca acid, and water hyacinth wood after drying. For the water hyacinths, or Indonesia, you call it as this is the production wood pellet that is started from biomass feedstock, and then getting drying, grinding, buffer storage, condensation, cooling, turns into pellets, and storage. That is all from this study. I hope you enjoy the rest of 2020. Thank you, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Miss
Enough, bro.
Yeah. Without in this forum, yeah.
Yes.
So we continue to the next paper.
Next presenter is playing video 2, bro.
Okay. This is a title about fauna potential for developing bird watching ecotourism in Kahaditeka Wanadipa Pengaron. Okay, this time for playing to video and watching together. So, okay, to admin for play.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me introduce myself. My name is Fuad Muhammad from Magister Environmental Science, School of Postgraduate University. Now I will presenting my paper with title Avifauna Potensi for Developing Birdwatching Tourism in Kaditeka Wanadipa Daron. Let me share my screen. Thank you. Okay. Avifauna Potensi for Developing Birdwatching Tourism in Kaditeka Daron by Fuad Muhammad and Jafar Masih Hidayat. For the background, we know after we get the Kaditeka from the Ministry of Environmental and Forestry with agreement number 339 Men LHK Sekjen PLA 2 2020, we get the management Kaditeka has an area of 100 hectares. As we know, the Kaditeka Wanadipa Daron is a habitat for various types of wildlife. One of which is the aves or birds. Birds are providers of forest ecosystem services such as helping with pollination, seed dispersal, and pest control. And we know there are various forms of community activities on this village, such as agriculture, hunting activities, and plantation. And this condition is very risky for the presence of wild animals in the protected forest area, especially birds or avifauna, so that management that is able to support nature conservation, community empowerment, and economic growth of the local population. And we know birdwatching activities are starting to bloom in Indonesian society. And the birdwatching activities can be applied in the concept of ecotourism. Based on the explanation above, it is necessary to study the potential of avifauna or birds conservation based on community participation with birdwatching activities package and the ecotourism concept at Kaditeka Wanadipa Daron. Material and method, the study was conducted in plots 1016, 1017, and 1018 from the Kaditeka Wanadipa Daron. And this research was conducted in September to November 2020, and in the morning at 7 to 10 o'clock p.m. and the afternoon at 2 up to 5 p.m. The placement of sampling for data collection based on a preliminary survey in order to represent the entire forest area, and the method uses purposive sampling of two-line transect by considering the presence of birds, topography, vegetation cover, and trails. Bird data was collected using point counts method on each line transect to determine the composition and diversity of bird species according to Briat al. 2000. Interview were conducted to respondents who were randomly selected by distributing questionnaires to respondents. The respondents from the society around Kaditeka Wanadipa Daron, and the data obtained are used to find out quantitative information about the number of bird species, information on bird encounters, the frequencies presence of each bird species, as well as the index of bird species diversity index based on Shannon-Wheeler index. The result and discussion, diversity of bird species in KHDT Kawanan Patunggaran. From the figure, we get the number of families first found was 16 families with a total 83 individuals. The number of species found in 20 species from the 16 families, and the diversity of aves in the KHDT Kawanan Patunggaran is biotic potential that can be developed for bird watching activity. And for this activity, it is necessary to make several observations, towers, and procurement of a binocular, as well as guidance how we have competence about avifauna animals. The use of tree canopy strata by birds in the Wanati Patunggaran can be found in various canopy strata, but it is more common on the strata 5 to 10 meters. The bird choose a higher turn because it is easier to perch and take food, and is safer from disturbance, weight, and some birds, their habitats on the strata of vegetation. Based on the result of the bird diversity index, the diversity index includes the medium index with a Shannon-Wheeler index, and the diversity values birds, including the medium category. I mean, according the Shannon-Wheeler diversity criteria. The Shannon diversity index value can be classified into several categories, namely if the value of 0 to 2 until 2 is low, and the value H2 until 3 is moderate, and the value of over 3 is very good. And the condition shows the condition of KHDT Kawanan is able to meet life for various types of birds. And according to Ali Kodra, 1990, if a habitat is able to provide various types of it, then the habitat will be frequented by bird species. And the facts supported by Firmansyah, who state that a high diversity of vegetation types can serve as a source of food, shelter, and nesting places for the birds. The second potential development of bird watching ecotourism in KHDT Kawanan, the public or society knowledge about bird species in the Wanati Patunggaran, and respondent experience regarding watching activities can be said that be very little. According the figure on this figure, however, the majority of respondents are very interested. There will be an educational tourism development, such as a bird watching. We know the project activities can also be developed in the Susukan village and the
Okay, admin, maybe audio is unmute, is activated. Okay, for secretary in ICENIS, Kedereka, hello. For Mr. Fuad is finished, so continue to the presenter, next presenter. I call the name is Tio Agung Mambudi Hadianto and Sriwidodo Agung Swedi. I think Tio Agung Mambudi is presented. So he is presented paper, the title potential analysis of biogas production from a mixture of palm oil, milk effluent, bombs, and co-product. So, for Mr. Tio Agung Prambudi, screen and time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. Today I will presentation about review the effect of starter composition. I'm sorry, Prof.
Okay.
This is wrong slide. Okay. Today I will presentation about analysis of potential biogas production from a mixture of pome and caudang. Next, palm oil is currently the large source of vegetable oil in the world, and palm oil contribute about 27% or 46 million ton of total vegetable oil in the world. Palm oil is one of the most consumed and product oil in the world. Indonesia is one of the rich product and export of palm oil in the world. Pome is not toxic, but can pollute the environment because it can reduce the dissolved oxygen content in the water. Next. Methodology experimental area. The location of the experimental was carried on a household, starting with the talking of raw material in the Forpome at the palm oil mill in Siak Regency, Riau Provinsi, Indonesia, followed by talking caudang every day during the study at beef cattle farm in the village around the palm oil processing factory. Experimental procedure, the experimental procedure in the experiment in initial is a acclimatization process by entering pome into the biodigester, irrigating from the palm oil wastewater treatment pond and observing change in pH, acidity, and temperature produced. And second step in the biogas production process by feeding cow dung, which is carried out in each biodigester. The third step is observing temperature of temperature, pH, and analysis of biogas production. Next. Research and discussion. The first analysis temperature. The analysis temperature from the experiment in the biodigester achieved by a treatment which the additional of 1 and 2 liter of loading was between 25 until 27 degrees Celsius. The temperature achieved during the biogas production processes is below the mesophilic temperature. This has no effect on the occur of the methanogenesis process because the methanogenesis process can still occur. The minimum temperature for bacteria to grow during the anaerobic fermentation process, especially in the unheated by digester, is 15 degrees Celsius. Biodigester that operated and temperature below 15 degrees Celsius only get a limited amount of biogas, so it is very uneconomical. Next. Secondly, analysis pH. Analysis pH acidity. Value is one value in biogas production rank for 6.5 to 7. The resulting pH acidity value is in accordance with the condition required by methane forming bacteria. If the pH drop below 6.2, the methanogen bacteria will be poison, and consequently the biogas production will decrease. Next. Analysis of biogas production. Determine the volume of biogas production. Use the calculation of the ideal gas equation. The volume of accumulated biogas production from 20 day at 1 liter of mixing per day is 6.1 liter, while for the volume of biogas mixing 2 liter per day as much as 6.07, only a difference of 0.3. Next. Conclusion, biogas production using palm oil meal effluent or pome and the additional of cow dung is a fixed bed type biodigester can increase biogas production. The optimal loading rate is from the 1 liter per day treatment. The result of this experiment can prove useful information from the future in the approach was treatment process, especially in the production of biogas from pome and the production of sustainable renewable energy to encourage the fulfillment of low carbon system and technologies. Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Yes.
Tio Agung Rambudi. Any question from the other audience? Maybe Mr. Andono or maybe Muhammad Taufik. Any question? Not yet a question. Okay, I have a question for Mr. Tio Agung Rambudi.
Yes.
Where in biogas measure using ideal gas equation, not flow, not using flow meter on the other method.
Okay. Because I use
Do you have a flow meter for gas production?
yes. Manometer U.
Yeah. Are you not using a manometer or flow meter? In your research?
I can manometer I can manometer U, Prof.
Where in this paper using ideal gas equation for calculated of biogas volume?
Because I didn't do the analysis from laboratorium analysis MS.
Where do you present it in collecting data in manometer U or flow meter for volume of biogas? So, yeah, this is
Okay.
very important in your research. If for determine of volume of gas, maybe use manometer, yeah, of you or flow meter, not
Okay.
use gas equation, ideal gas equation.
Okay, bro.
So the second equation, what is a specification of POME in your research?
Excuse me, no, sir. Excuse me,
What
sir.
is the specification of POME? Yeah, palm oil milling effluent in your research. Specification or characteristic of POME in your research. Are you analysis or not?
Yes, I analysis, bro.
So, okay. What specification of POME in your research? Do you don't do, yeah? You don't present it in this paper?
Not.
Okay. What is the specification? COD, BOD, pH, temper, minor or major combustion? Your analysis?
Yes, I analysis, bro.
What content in POME?
In characteristic POME from my analysis, parameter pH, total suspend solid, C organic, and total C N ratio, COD and BOD, Prof.
Okay, you must present it in this paper. So the characteristic of raw material like pome and also like codex, you must present it in this paper.
Oh, yes, yes, sir.
Okay, I think it's okay. Maybe any question for the other audience? If not, I think be applause to Mr. Tio Agung Bambudi and
Thank you.
congratulations for your presentation. So the next presentation I call to Muhammad Taufik. Mr. Muhammad Taufik and Indang Gustiantini and Joko Widarto was presented a paper entitled Analysis of Biogas Production from a Mixture of Cow Manure, Chicken Manure, and Organic Waste with Bed Digester to support smart mixed farming Wanadipa Undip in Kedereka program. Okay, Muhammad Taufik, are you ready? Mr. Muhammad Taufik, the screen and time is yours. Can you start to present it? Hello, Mr. Muhammad Taufik, are you ready?
Oh, I'm sorry, the smooth. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I would like to thank the moderator, committee, and audience. Allow me to present the result of my research entitled Analysis of Biogas Production from a Mixture of Cow Manure, Chicken Manure, and Organic Waste with Bed Digester to support smart mixed farming Wanadipa Undip in Kedereka program. Energy consumption continue to increase from year to year. Energy dependent from fossil fuel need non-fossil energy or new renewable energy. The government has supported the energy mix through regulation. Biogas technology is easy to apply, environmentally friendly, and the raw materials are very diverse, include livestock, agriculture, fishery, and energy crop wasted. The potential for biogas technology is quite large. Diponegoro University is currently building smart mixed farming, especially for the integration of livestock and agriculture in the forest area of Wanadipa Pengaran in the Kedai Reka program. This research started with literature and then made 3 biogas installation, then fill the digester with specific material, and then during study to collect data include COD, CN ratio, acidity, and then from biogas, from product biogas used to test engine and for stove. All data and then to analyze. Project implementation time from November to May 20. A place for research and market the biogas at the branch office of SDM of Semarang Demak area and super analysis in the laboratory. Fresh and chicken manure is taken at the Demak City Farm. Organic waste consists of red feed, vegetable, leaves, rice, and elephant grass. This is a biogas design made of plastic from plastic drum to connect with gas stove and drive engine, and gas storage with a valve. The following are the specifications of the digester design. This design is have advanced. All tool and material are available in the market. Affordable price and easy to assemble. Airtight digester and proven to produce biogas. The disadvantage is difficult inserted and removing subtract. In addition, the input or output hole are made bigger but still airtight. This is a result of laboratory test with three treatment. All digester have optimal COD volume. Digester to have the reduced COD value. And then CN ratio altogether have small CN value, and digester one is the larger and CN value. This is acidity. Before use the pH meter has been calculated. The pH is optimal value. This is digester process temperature. Temperature measure is done 2 times a day for 130 days. And during the study, the temperature in the digester range from 26 to 31 Celsius. This is a biogas production. The measurement of the value of biogas is carried out every 2 when this meter. This is a basic assembly from the product, so that 1 kilopascal is the same of 10 centimeter water column. This product is similar with manometer concept, but this indicator. After this, we use to gas pressure total, which mean pressure from standard atmosphere plus pressure for manometer. To determine the value of biogas using the ideal gas equation, this is the equation. The biogas production value. This is also the biogas daily, and this is a cumulative. The yield of daily biogas volume range from this and this. In first week, digester 1 and 2 have started biogas production, and week 5, digester 3 is started biogas production. The digester 3 is power the produce biogas because the decomposition time of organic matter is longer than all the digester. Organic material in the form of vegetable waste containing cellulose and lignin takes longer than decomposition based on Wayuni. The flame test. The flame test is the next test after we know biogas value, biogas production. the and the flame test with digestor 1 and 2 start from to form biogas with small flame and briefly second. And digester 3 is started and the upper district peak the best peak is from digester 3 at a day this is 143 seconds. This this picture is cumulative flame for the digester. The was cumulative flame in the digester 2 is 4,302 seconds. This is a flame height digester, and this picture show that the peak height of flame in the digester 2 on day 33. After then drive engine test. This test is 3 method. First is pure biogas. All digester is turn off, and the third test is use open the lid with 3 kilogram LPG gas. This method is the engine is powered on with 3 LPG gas. After the biogas method is fully opened, the LPG is closer square of spin. The engine can be switched on for second. I'm sorry, this not three 3/4 ini. And then the third test used with LPG gas. This method not trial, but this to trial with digester 2 where the biogas container tire are supply the LPG gas until the holder tire is a bit steady. Then start this the engine. The engine can be switched on for 40 seconds. Why the first is turned off because gas value content is too low and pressure is too low. Based on my rate is minimum to test pure gas is 1 meter cubic or 1,000 liter. Conclusion: the biogas digester model is easy to make. All material are available in the market. Digester 2 is producer the largest cumulative biogas, and 3 based on the use digester 2 is the best because it can use to turn on of gas storage cumulative with for 4,302. This is all activity from the my research is we upload to YouTube. You can see the channel, but it is still not complete because time not time available. Thank you. We
Taufik.
This is time for discussion. Any question for the other audience? Maybe Mr. Tio Agung Bambuti, maybe Andono Kusuman Jatuh. And any question? Okay, I have some question for Mr. Muhammad Taufik. Hello, Mr. Muhammad Taufik.
Yes, Prof.
The
Yes.
first, how much minimum capacity for biogas can be used to electricity generation? Minimum capacity.
Use this register, Prof. Yes.
Biogas capacity. How much minimum capacity can be used for electricity generation, like in your research? How much in gas storage? How much biogas capacity can be used the electricity generation?
I'm sorry for the capacity to gas stove of or drift engine, Prof.
Capacity to electricity generation, electric generator, drive engine. This for electricity generation.
This is one.
How much minimum capacity for biogas in gas storage?
Oh, 24 liter in the gas storage. 24 is based ini Prof. We calculated this one. After gas storage fully, this is stop to increase. Manometer is not increase. Is stop to 1 kilopascal. And then from 1 kilopascal is to calculate volume. This volume is so that maximum is this 24 liter.
Okay, this is minimum capacity or maximum capacity. Gas can be generated a drive engine.
Drive engine is maximum capacity with this 24,85.
Okay, so in your biogas production, are you analysis for combustion?
No, Prof. No.
So in what difference use are you using coal manure and unggas manure ya?
Yeah, chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah, chicken. Chicken manure.
Where in digester to ratio C to ants more just 40.07 not more than 9 or maybe x way in this digester to just 4 for C per C to N ratio?
Oh, I think from the location, the chicken is very very strong smell. I think the smell is indicated the ammonia have high nitrogen. After chicken manure is mixture with co-manure, the CN volume is low. I think this, Prof.
Okay. So maybe nitrogen sources like ammonia or protein in the chicken manure very high.
Yes.
Okay. I think I finished for all. Maybe any question, Mr. Andono, you Agung Budi? If not, my question in this forum is finished because Mr. Suhirman was cancelled about to present it in this forum. I think this forum is finished, so I want to the time and screen to Kedereka. Hello, admin Kedereka.
Hello, Prof.
Mr. Suhirman and team cancel the paper in get presented in this event. I was communicated with Mr. Suhirman in paper in number 4.
I don't know exactly, Prof. But because Mr. Suherman don't give information, he will present PPT or video.
Oh,
Maybe we can close this session and next continue to the next session.
okay. I think this finished. I saw the time and the screen to back to you.
Okay. Okay, Prof. I wanna inform to the all presenter. Don't forget to fill attendance form for the certificate. Thank you.
I promise to leave to admin.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof.